Hi, my friends. I want to do a quick video because sometimes when on these things I do a reflection every day about different things to see. So I was looking at the side one window so we can focus on, and I'm not going to pay attention to what you're seeing and stuff like that. But anyway, this is Death Valley, road back, and it's starting to rain and snowing actually in the mountains. So anyway, so this is about I was thinking about internal dialogue. They said that that's one key to not being an NPC or an agent or whatever to the system, is that people have internal dialogue, and it's actually not even a spiritual thing they studied. It's done by psychiatrists and psychologists, right? So it actually is a real thing. So it's going to say, so who is that voice in your head? Look at that red stuff. Look at that awesome. It's like Mars. It's probably where they filmed the Mars landing, the rover. I'm just kidding, but yeah. So anyway, here's the reality of it. And sorry, because I want to make sure safety first before I do this. So the roads are pretty clean and not much traffic out here. But so here's the deal. So you have internal dialogue. We studied that, and you can assume YouTube videos about that internal dialogue stuff, okay? Because I have, and it's kind of interesting. Because you got studies. Internal dialogue means that you kind of like that you kind of think, it's not that you hear voices in your head, but you do thoughts in your head. So instead of just taking downloads or just accepting, something that's like a signal receiver in your brain, that you actually generate thoughts, right? So it's called internal dialogue, okay? So I was thinking about that. So you hear about people that, I think there's actually like 3 types. There's always 3 types or more things. So there's people that, have internal dialogue, and so I call it, they talk to themselves, but not like voices in their head, right? They talk to themselves, and people say, oh my God, that's insane. No, it's not, because I talk to myself in the sense that I'm trying to evaluate and I analyze my own thoughts. See, that's important. So just control your mind and analyze your thoughts, right? So that's why we can correct ourselves, like even bad behavior. I'll say, I'll check it. I'm like, well, that's probably wrong to do that. So you're taking an outside perspective of your mind, your thought, and you're looking from the outside, from like another perspective from a person standing there, but it's actually you, talking to you, or not talking, but just analyzing what you're thinking. Is that a good thought? So that's that. Why is that important? Because somebody said, oh, they talk, you hear talking to yourself. Well, so that is, to me, it's a good thing to actually talk to yourself in a sense. Then helps you plan, organize, and analyze your situation. So that's what I'm gonna tell you. So is there more than one person? See, you kind of are more than one person. It sounds crazy, because there's the outside person, the outside that even reflects this world and tries to adapt to it and go with it, right? And so I can't get into detail because I'm driving at the same time, but I'm trying to give you good thoughts of this. So you have that outside perspective, like somebody standing there, but it's actually you analyzing your behavior, your thoughts, and interacting with this world, right? So then there's the inside you, where you have your core values, beliefs, and the way you behave, and it's coming from the inside outside. That's why it's important to, they always said, even the Lord and other ones said that, the inner is almost important than the outer. It is, because the world you're going to try, that one that's standing outside will try to meld into this world and behave to this world or conform to this world and do crazy things, right? So you got to focus on that inner being of you, okay? So then there's the ones where I swear to God, they are hearing voices in their head. Those are the demons. Those are the ones that are influencing them in spiritual essence. It's real. They hear whispering in their head, control the brains, and have their brains kicked down the street, and they just become demonic in 10 seconds when they're your friend. That behavior, that is actually true demonic. That's voices that are not coming from that person, right? That's why you hear the term where I was beside myself. Well, that's because your spirit and your soul and your mind exited, and that demon came in. That I was beside myself, or just out of my mind. I was out of my mind. Yeah, you weren't in control of your mind. You're not in your mind. You were out of it. You have given control to the side, out of your mind, right? So then there's the ones where, so that's the outer controlling, the demons or whatever, their system, the beast system controlling that person, okay? Then there's the third one where I think that people, it's kind of a meld between the first one where, that's that inner, but that inner is talking the outer, that circular motion I told you, where I'm analyzing myself from the outer inner, but they actually will generate, a person will generate and then project that. They project that inner to being something else. Now, I'll be honest with you, they can project that as being the Lord talking to them, God, other things, because it's crazy, but I believe this is true, that you are projecting out and you're hearing voices in your head or thoughts that you believe are coming from the Lord. Because these people are good people, and I always wonder, well, they're really not demonic, but they're not really talking. So these are the ones that'll tell you, hey, you need to repent, or this thing's that. It's actually their inner voice, or God told me that you should do this or that, or the Lord told me this and that, right? And there is sometimes that God does talk through people, and so does the Lord and the angels. And the good side, they can actually use people. So it becomes messy in that communication process, even with when yourself or with others, right? But the reality is this, like I said, is that those people mean well, but they're actually they're hearing their own voice. It's like an echo in a canyon. They're saying something out, but the echo, instead of hearing the same thing repeat to themselves, it's some of their voice being returned when they're echoing off the walls, because it's something they want to believe. And sometimes when you study people's behavior, or you get to know them better, you'll see that that's actually true, that it's more in liking of their thoughts and beliefs and things like that, right? So there's like three things that are happening, right? So I just want to do that. And then I was going to go on to something else. Oh, yeah, I want to talk a little bit about, see all this you're seeing out here. I'm not God, I'm not your creator and this thing, right? So don't think that, right? But I want to talk about, if I had the technology, if there's advanced civilization controllers of this world, that we're under their thumb or their meld. If I had the advanced technology, future generation, I could actually create all this. I could become your God and create sub-gods and controllers. I could, because I understand it. I understand how to take energy and create it into matter, things like that. Do we have the technology? Not quite in our man sense, but I could, if I could even create a simulation like this where you wouldn't even know the difference, whether you're real or not. So my point is that it gets so deep that I don't want to go in there, because it blows your mind when you open up that whole reality, that you could actually just simulate whatever, right? And but then would you want to do that? Because I told you that your God, your creator, one time, it showed me his existence, and boy, it's terrifying, folks. If you ever had to have a creator's job or be the creator of this world, this reality, it is. I mean, I told you I had to drive the mountains for 2 weeks when God showed me, your creator showed me some things through thoughts and visions that I about lost my mind. I said, I can't take it. So there's a reason that we don't want to know everything. Remember, I told you about the interface. See, everything, like even if we're in a simulation, I don't want to deal with the details of the computer that's running this, the CPU, all the operations, like even the cell phone. I just want to know that the cell phone can record and provide me that, right? So I thank them for that, because if you had to be a part of that whole controlling that system and managing that and being in charge of it, well, you wouldn't want the job. I'm not kidding you. And creating this reality, no thank you. Right, so they're right there. It tells you that your creator and the controllers, sub-gods, that they actually do care about you, because there is a lot of effort that you wouldn't believe when you actually analyze it, how much effort and energy goes into this even every day. Could you imagine controlling every little sequence and everything like that, every little process? Biden does this, Russia does that, the stock market does this, every single piece, every piece of the chessboard and the puzzle. I mean, every piece on the chessboard, no thank you, right? Insane. So I want to talk about that, because, there's a Star Trek episode with Picard where they ask him what reality is, which is kind of what, we're looking at. And he said that it was an episode. He said he believed that, it was when he was in the void. He said that he believed that the reality is beyond our comprehension, that reality is a reality. He said this way, but something like that. Reality is a reality that we can't even comprehend. The true reality, the base reality of whatever the existence is that created this universe that we're in, right? I believe it's true that we wouldn't even understand if the true reality, that we might want to be thankful that this is someone to control, because it probably isn't a controller. This would be even more chaos. I'm saying you probably wouldn't want to, and maybe we'll get exposed to that true reality. And maybe it's beyond our comprehension, where I told you we're fish in a fishbowl. So the overall reality is something we can't even imagine, because we're born in this material world and some of the exposure to the spiritual world. So true reality, maybe we can't even comprehend. And see, I was thinking that even, I give an example of the reality that would be tough to deal with. Let's assume that every thought that you have became reality. Every thought, that you can manifest everything. Now, there's where it comes into play, where we'd have to be careful, because even myself, when I was less control of my mind, my thought became reality. I mean, there's times I get so frustrated people. It's not like, boy, drop a bomb on, on the darn stock market. Is so mean and rotten and bankrupting people and their retirement and this and that, because I didn't understand the whole purpose about why we're here and stuff, right? And also, people do naughty things like those. I don't want to get negative here, but let's say like people that just naughty and abuse animals and stuff. I mean, poof! I'd want to eliminate from the earth in about 10 seconds, right? And that's why, but say this goes deeper, because let's say you could create the earth. Let's just say you got so mad one day that you'd want to just destroy the whole earth. Say, I'm just done with this place. Heck with all of them, just blow them all, boom, and just shut down the entire system and take the earth away, right? Now, see, your creator could have done that, so could all the controllers, but they don't. So my point is this, that your thought, that just thinking that, say, I'm just going to destroy their boom, and all of a sudden it happened. Could you imagine? And then you can, think, oh my gosh, what'd I do? Geez, oh my gosh, just destroyed everything, right? That's why because that's awesome, right? Anyway, that is the issue that we have, not issue, is that, and maybe that's what we're here to do, is that we're learning to control our thoughts. That you and me, that I told you, even all the philosophers said the most important thing you can do is control your mind. And don't forget that every thought that you do, because you can broadcast that, it is a frequency that only impacts you, but it impacts people around you, and probably you're broadcasting clear around, because in this realm, this reality, those feelings, emotions, it's energy and thoughts that push into influencing and shoving and manifesting, right? Now, I'm not saying like you can totally manifest and just change everything, but you do influence it. So my point is that maybe that's the whole process, is that we're learn how to control our thoughts. So, and it's hard, because every day I'm trying to remember to do that. See, I have to remember to control my thoughts, not be negative. Oh, look at the sun coming out there. Look at that. I'm going to hold that there and try to hope it, so I'm talking here. So you have that situation. Isn't that just awesome, folks? I know you got some shadow with straw and stuff like that. So, it just went away. Hey, can you tell the controllers to bring that sun back, please? Come on. I used to make fun of people. It was a really hot day. I said, man, some of you tell somebody upstairs to, it was cold, turn up the heat a little bit, so I'm kind of freezing, or someone's too hot even. I'm like, hey, you can tell somebody's doing a charge up top of the thermostat here on Earth. Can you tell them to turn it down a bit and say, man, I'm getting kind of overheated here and it's hot. Anyway, so I think, not to go on about that, but the key to this is, I think really is that we have got to learn to control our thoughts. And that's why it's all this programming, the predictive programming, the news. They're trying to control your thoughts. I mean, it's obvious, right? And so we have got to learn to, and I'm going to talk more about the game theory, how we, how we can, I'm assuming that how we play the games, the rules of this game. Now, I said the controllers, or not like controllers, I guess, call more of a, they could do control it, but trying to figure out, anyway, a way of influencing this better, like changing the rules of the game, or doing retroactivity, which we know that's proved by physics, that change this reality to make it better, because it's going to come to a head, right? And see, that's why I still don't know is how much we need to put up a fight, because you can't. Even if a philosopher says doing nothing is accepting the default, and that's part of the society issues we have. So I'm hoping that the Lord, the other ones, the angels, the saints, every other side, even our God and Creator says it is time to engage and put up a fight in the right way to get control of things back together. See, this is the exposure stage right now, and more people waking up, and more people. I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit if I can for you, but it's going to be hard. Let's see. I don't know if I can. It's not. Oh, no, it changed the color. I don't like that. Let's see. There you go. So anyway, and because I don't want to be sitting on my butt and saying, we waited too long, but I'm sure we won't, because it seems like we're all on path, right? We just got to be patient here, right? So, but these are the things that I'm working on. The time, whether it's right or wrong, I have no idea, folks. Maybe the rules that we are create the rules, that we can create what we believe. Sometimes I'm thinking, well, if this is way, if we can, we're only limiting ourselves by our own mind, that our mind's causing our limitations. Are we forcing us just to sit on our hands where we can actually start, doing more massive moves to control manifesting reality? For example, trying to remove some naughty things in this world, right? Making it more pleasant. And then one of the things that we've learned in this process is turning negative positive, right? And it's all perspective. Sometimes you look at things as wonderful, it's great. Look at the way the light's hitting those. Isn't that cool? So anyway, not to babble on that. There's so much detail and so much that to this. And are we living in multiple layers from base reality? It's possible, right? I even thought that maybe your creator is living in a sub-creation himself and doesn't know where he came from, but thinks he's been around forever. I'm not trying to insult our creator, but how would you know if and where's the beginning and the end, right? Where's the start? And so, we don't know, right? And, we always ask him why. Why are we doing this? Why are we going through this? But that search for why, we keep learning more, and that's part of the process. That, and a lot of people, I get frustrated too. There's a lot of people that said, man, we're living in simulation. This is evil as hell, and I'd never teach anybody this way. There's got to be better ways. I'm assuming this is the only way, but what if we're wrong? So we're used. Well, I hate to say it, even if we're being used, it was good overall. I've had a great journey, and glad I was. See it change the color out when I do that. I'm gonna pull that back. I just don't like that too much. Okay, there we go. Anyway, gotta make sure I drive well here. That'd be ridiculous. And be safe. But anyway, there's just nobody out here anyway. But anyway, so we don't know all those things, and maybe we're not supposed to know. Like I said, the interface or in the thing. So, and maybe it's just testing. We test that system, and because I know the beast system's real and all those other things and all that stuff, right? But it was all deception. That's part of it. And like your script, are we supposed to break our scripts because we know that it's been all scripted? I talk about that you have some free will to the way you react and do certain things. Some of us may have more free will, and some of us may have, oh my gosh, that's awesome. Some have less, right? So anyway, that's what we do. I'm just gonna pull that back for you. Oh, there we go. All right, there you go. Anyway, so I don't know. Okay, we don't know, right? And I'm trying to pull that in a little bit for you. There we go. Get a little bit. Isn't that beautiful? Look at the way it's like a V and stuff out there. So yeah, and that is awesome. I'll try to zoom in a little bit more if I can. There we go. Anyway, so that is gorgeous, right? So anyway, I know this is a long one, and so there's some thoughts, and I'm probably going to cut this off because it's going to get windy. I gotta be safe. I love y'all.